What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into the Sports Tree Studio for this week's edition of Third and Long for Monday Night Football. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a doubleheader featuring the double doink specialists themselves, the Chicago Bears. They're facing the Minnesota Vikings. That's the first game, and then they kind of overlap, actually. Then you have the Falcons and the Raiders. Wow, talking about two teams spiraling. You got the Falcons. They've lost 4 straight, and the Raiders, who have tanked their way into the first overall pick with 9 straight losses. But before we break down those games, we just have to update you. Head over to sportstree.ca right now and fill out your CFP College Football Bracket Challenge for the College Football Playoff. The winner's going home with $1,000. You go, you check it out. All 12 teams are there. You sign up. It's free, or you can upgrade your subscription. You can fill out up to 5 bracket challenges to get in to win $1,000 under your name. So you can use a bunch of different combinations. And remember, you win $1,000 this holiday season, cash money, courtesy of us here at Sports Tree. So head over to sportstree.ca, sign up, and remember, if you upgrade your subscription, you upgrade your chances of winning. And then you also get access to all of our bets. We're up over 40 units of profit this NFL season, hitting over 67% of our bets. We cleaned up on Thursday going 2-0. We cleaned up last night with the Packers. We hit the Bengals. We called our shot with the Bengals, covering the spread, and Joe Burrow doing his thing. He went out, got it done, and then we bet the Jets because we're maniacs. And that worked out as well. Thank you, Davante Adams. But let's break down Monday Night Football. First up, we have the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. And the Bears, they're 0-6 on the road this season. They're terrible. I am a Bears fan, a die-hard Bears fan. You can see the signed helmets behind me. Man, it's tough. I think the Bears are they're ready for the rebuild. They're still in the rebuild, but they're ready to rebuild the management, the coaching staff, the team. Half these players probably won't be here next year because there's no system to buy into. The only guy that's safe and guaranteed to be a Chicago Bear next year is because they bet their future on him is Caleb Williams. Outside of that, it legitimately could be a fire sale, and they have some studs, and we're going to break into that right now, actually. We're going to talk about some player props. We actually have 5 bets for this evening. We have 4 bets on this game alone. If you want all 4 of those, head over to sportstree.ca, subscribe, sign up, or just buy the pick package for this weekend. I know it's Monday, but you get access to 5 bets, $25. I mean, come on. That's a great deal. You can win thousands of dollars tonight because that's what we're going to do. Aaron Jones, anytime touchdown. We love that. He did that just a mere 3 weeks ago against the Chicago Bears. He hit pay dirt with 106 rushing yards. The Bears, they're a solid football team. They allowed the 7th fewest touchdowns in all of football. However, they allowed the 10th most touchdowns to running backs. Aaron Jones, he handles over 63% of the handoffs in the red zone, and he has the 2nd most targets in the red zone for this Minnesota Vikings team, trailing only Justin Jefferson. Multiple ways to get him the football against a team that struggles against stopping the running backs from hitting pay dirt. I like Aaron Jones to hit pay dirt at even money. I think that's a great bet. I also like Aaron Jones to cook on the ground. I think we're buying high right now at 65.5 rushing yards, but I do like him to eclipse that. He went for 106 yards against this Bears team. This Bears team, they're terrible against the run. It's really that simple. So I like this to be an Aaron Jones game. And if we look at the game script realistically, the safest way to win this game is to go out, run the football, control the clock, smash Chicago in the mouth, get out of here with a win. You're fighting for a playoff spot. You're fighting to stay in contention with the Detroit Lions in this division. You've got to get a win tonight against a lowly Chicago Bears franchise. And not just the Lions. Look at what the Packers did last night. The Packers are catching fire. Hunger Games reference. Love it. On the other side of the football, look for Caleb Williams to do his thing. This Minnesota team, they give up more yards per game to wide receivers than any other team in the NFL. The problem is, if you want to look at bets to those receivers, you've got 3 studs to look at. Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze. Which one do you want to pick? Well, I'm just going to pick the delivery man instead of picking the guys that make the catches. I think Caleb Williams is going to spread the ball to whomever may be open. He's eclipsed over 230 yards in 3 of his last 4 outings, and he just needs 225 to win this bet. I think that's a great value. If you want Caleb Williams to keep cooking, I think the Bears are going to be trailing. I think he's going to keep the ball in his hands, and if he has to scramble, well, he's proved over the last 4 weeks he's rushed for 27 yards in every single one of those games, up to 70 yards in one of those games, and his line's just 25 rushing yards. I like Caleb Williams to do his thing on offense because I think the Bears will be trailing as a result of Aaron Jones doing his thing for the Vikings offense. So there's some player props to look out for. If we move into the other game, good God, the Raiders and the Falcons. Please, Las Vegas. I always kind of liked the Raiders as a franchise. I wanted them to win a Super Bowl in Oakland before they left, just for the fans. But now they're in Las Vegas, and just things have gone terrible. You let go of Derek Carr, heart and soul kind of guy. Obviously not a winner, but a heart and soul kind of guy. And now if they draft Shedeur Sanders with the number 1 pick, I'm out. I'm done with this team. They've lost 9 consecutive games. They've tanked their way down to control their destiny. They currently hold the number 1 pick. The Falcons, they've lost 4 straight, but they can still make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to catch the Bucs. I like this Buccaneers team. I love what they did yesterday, going into Los Angeles and just giving it to the Chargers. This Falcons team, they're not very good. They have to win this game. You can't afford to lose this game. This is a get-right spot of get-right spots. The Raiders want to lose, and you have to win. If the Falcons don't win this game, I don't know what to do. I'm not laying points with Kirk Cousins on primetime. Everybody knows that primetime Kirk is just brutal. Just a terrible football player. CFL-esque, if you will. But Bijan Robinson, that's where we're going to look. Yes, this line is high, but he's rushed for 85 rushing yards in 3 out of his last 4 games. And we just talked about this. The Raiders, their rushing defense is brutal. They're giving up over 117 yards per game on this season. That's about middle of the pack. But last week, they allowed Tampa Bay running backs to go up for over 150 yards. Atlanta's got to win this game. Best way to win the game, you control the clock. You give the ball to Bijan Robinson. He breaks a big one. And you lean on your best player to win your most important game of the season. Your prop for that game has to be Bijan Robinson. If you want the full model breakdown and analysis, some of these props have over a 70% win probability. We have other bets on the website as well. So make sure you go check out sportstree.ca. Sign up to get in to win on that bracket challenge because you can be walking away with $1,000 this holiday season. Treat somebody to something nice. Maybe donate it to charity. Give it back to us. I don't care what you do with it, but you can't tell me that's not an awesome time. You can keep track of the college football playoffs. Remember, the bracket will close right before the kickoff of the very first playoff game. You have the Hoosiers versus the Fighting Irish. The Mustangs against the Nittany Lions, the Volunteers visiting Ohio State to take on the Buckeyes, and the 12th ranked Clemson Tigers are heading into Texas where they're going to get fucked. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Connor Rowntree. Enjoy the football.